I'm Nicole, welcome to my channel. So I just started a new legacy here on my YouTube channel. The new legacy family is the Green family. In the video where I created the heir for this family, we created Sage Green. The idea behind the house is not for it to be green, that's just their last name. So this build is for our first gen, our heir to the legacy, Sage Green. In case you haven't seen the video of me creating the heir, I'll link that video down below in the description and also link that video on the end card. But today I'm gonna go ahead and build her house. In case you haven't seen the video, I built it on a lot in Brindleton Bay. In my brain, I wanted to start off with something small, but in reality, I started building and it actually ended up being 2 stories. I was like, Nicole, what are you thinking? You can't build something that's 2 stories. She's never going to be able to afford it after being furnished. So I started off building this entire thing and then I decided to bulldoze it all and start all over. You'll see me go ahead and bulldoze it because I was like, what are you doing? She's never going to be able to afford this. So once I bulldozed it, I was a little more realistic with my expectations. I was a little brought down to earth at that point. I decided I wanted to do something really small, keep it really simple, just have an open floor plan, living room, dining room, kitchen area with a bathroom and a bedroom and call it a day. Once I got that situated, roofing was pretty easy because there wasn't a whole lot to roof to begin with, and I was quickly able to move on to what I wanted the outside to look like. I wanted it to kind of be simple. She's a simple girl. She's just moving into the neighborhood, so I didn't want it to be too all over the place, too extravagant. So I decided to go with kind of a blue paneling around the outside with a little hint of that stone look and the black roof texture. Again, in the spirit of keeping it simple, once I jumped into the inside, I was just going to do an open floor plan for the living room area and the kitchen, and then just have a small room for the bedroom and a small room for the bathroom. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted the color scheme to be. At this point in the build, I was just trying to get my footing as to what I wanted this house to look like. It's a legacy house. I wanted to make sure that it was something that I enjoyed playing in, but at the same time, she's just starting out, so I couldn't give her too much. I needed it to stay simple. I say that, but then I go ahead and use these countertops, which are quite expensive in the game, but I just like them. I thought that they matched the colors that I was going with so far, and I wanted her to try to have something nice. I still wanted the house to look nice because, like I said, I'm gonna have to play in it. I decided to use some simple base game windows around the outside, again, in the effort to not make it too expensive. When doing the kitchen, I absolutely hate the gap between the fridge and the counters, but there's no getting around it. If you want the cabinets to fit nicely, you kind of have to allow for that little gap. It was annoying, but I worked around it, and I actually think the kitchen turned out pretty nice. I jumped over to the living room next, and again, just trying to keep it simple. I didn't want to use too much money because she's got to be able to afford this house. And I knew I was on an 18,000 simoleon budget. So I just put a simple rug, couch, a small little TV area over there just to give her something to do, some source of entertainment. Jumping over to the bedroom, again, just keeping it nice and simple. I loved the color scheme of this bedroom. The leaves on that bed I thought really matched well with the rug and gave it a good pop of color for that rug. I decided to stick a little mirror in the corner just so she could do some skill building on the mirror. I felt like it was something that we can certainly build up and continue to work on, really making this room her own, this house her own, but I wanted to make sure that she started off with the essentials. Moving over to the bathroom, I tried to keep with kind of a white and maybe sort of a bluish green color scheme. My inspiration for the bathroom was the tiling in the bathroom. I liked that color, so I tried to make sure I found a rug that matched, and then I just went with white for everything else. As time goes on, we can continue to add more clutter and stuff to the bathroom and the kitchen area, as well as the living room and dining room area. But for now, I just gave her a little bit of decor. I had to laugh at myself because I caught myself trying to put some planter boxes outside and a little bit of butterfly decor on the inside, but I ended up having to delete that because she couldn't afford those things. She can't afford nice little planter boxes outside. Once the build was all said and done, I realized that I couldn't have those things. She couldn't have those things. So I ended up having to delete them, and it's something that we can add back later on. When working on the outside, I wanted to give her a little outside porch area, a grill. Again, trying to not make it too expensive, but I wanted her to have something. So I was able to give her a little porch porch area in the backyard with a little area that in the future we can add some seating. There's enough yard to get a pool or a swing set later on if we choose. So I tried to leave some room for some of that on the side yard. I didn't want the landscaping to be absolutely nothing, so I wanted to try to put a little something outside on the landscaping. Again, I ended up having to delete some of the stuff inside in order to be able to afford those things, but it was a must for me. I had to put something out there, and I didn't really want to tap into debug. Debug confuses me. There's a lot going on. If I have to use it, I will, but I try to do builds without using debug because it's a little overwhelming and intimidating for me. I also ended up having to leave all the shelves blank inside the house too, which I don't love, but again, over time we can add things. We're going to be taking lots of pictures, or at least that's what I really want to do, is take lots of photos. So we'll have lots of decor for the walls eventually. We'll be able to really make this house our own once we get going with our green legacy. So this was a quick one, but I'm going to jump back into the game and give you a tour of the build. It's small, but I want to give you a tour anyway. So here's our little Gen 1 house. I think it's so cute and a little petite. I think it's perfect for the first generation. I have a little telescope outside just for funsies. But like I said, my idea is to kind of build up this whole side yard and make our house a little bit bigger too. So if you walk up to the house and you go in through the front door here, like I said, you walk right into this open area, living room, kitchen, a little dining area right here. Oh, I thought I deleted the butterflies. I guess I kept them, but I did delete the planter boxes outside. Like I said, these shelves will eventually build up a little bit, put some clutter on the countertops, but just couldn't afford anything for now. We'll add that stuff later. I did end up having to delete one of the chairs. It's just her for now, so one chair is just fine, but there wasn't enough money for two. So she only has one chair for her little dining area and her simple little living room area right here. You walk through this door and into her bathroom. We did give her a toothbrush and toothpaste with some soap, gotta have that, and a towel on the wall. Trying to give her a little bit of decor, but not doing too much. Of course, some toilet paper and a hand towel as well. But we'll add more into this room too once we get some more money. Then if we come back this way into her bedroom, like I said, I love the pattern on this bed. I think it matched really well with the rug as well as the curtain because it kind of has both of those colors in it. And we have our little mirror in the corner. Eventually we could probably get like a little lamp on the side table here or some pictures eventually. Oh, I did end up deleting the picture above the bed. Again, we just couldn't afford anything. That's okay. We'll add all that stuff back later. And then come out this back door. We have our little grill in the corner and the steps down into our little side yard that eventually we will be able to build up and make all nice and pretty. So that is it. It's the short little tour of our small little legacy house, but this is the start of a good thing and I'm super excited for Sage. I can't wait to get into this legacy with you guys. I can't wait for the chaos of 10 generations of the Green family. If you like this video and are excited to get into the Green family legacy, hit that like button. And if you want to follow Sage's journey, hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you next week. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. See you next week.